Website speed optimization. So, what is better, slow or fast, right? Obviously, fast paced society, we want things now. Your clients, the people on the other end of the screen, want now on your website, right? So, how are we achieving this for clients? So, you can see this client is scoring a 92 out of 100 for speed, which is in the green. So, how are we routinely getting clients to 90 plus using official Google tools? So, this is an official Google tool called Google PageSpeed Insights tool. And another trusted third-party speed checker is GTmetrix. Here you can see they're scoring a 99% when the average industry average is 73%, and a 95%, and the industry average for that score is 72%. So you can see that there's reasons why it's scoring so high, 99% in this. And it's things such as leveraging browser cache, serve scaled images. So I want to show you right now that there's actually a new image format. Everyone knows JPEG and PNG on the web, but there's a new image format, and this is so important that Google's even putting this out. So this is a developer's guide to Google domain. Right? This is you can do a search for this. It's called WebP. It's a fully endorsed technology by Google itself, right? So you can see that WebP lossless images, which means that there's no quality loss, are 26% smaller in size compared to PNGs. WebP lousy images, or lossy images, I don't know how to say that, are 25 to 34% smaller if there's some quality discrepancy, right? So it's just a 26% increase in optimization per image, right? So we're coding now in this new format. We're compressing and coding these images in the new WebP format as introduced by Google. And in fact, because our clients who are on WordPress, or if they were on something else and we convert them to WordPress, they are then we then add and install a slew of paid plugins, and one of those is Imagify right now. So it's a very good compression image service, and we're combining that with WebP. So it's just a ridiculous amount of compression and image. As you can see, this is scoring a 97% for images. And so how else are we speeding up websites? So as you know, the 800-pound gorilla in the room is we are using Google Accelerated Mobile Pages. You know, these are the best websites in the world are using this, are people who want to be leaders. You know, CNN's using it, Washington Post. You know, I believe other news networks are using it. So there's Axe body spray. So it's not a small technology, right? It's the standard as of 2018. So if all you did was get on AMP, you would be 90% ahead of it. But now if you add the image compression technology and plugins on top of it, WebP, then you are really dominating. And you can also see that there's optimizations within AMP also, right? So AMP is its own little world, but inside of there's more optimization. So there's actually AMP cache. So there's cache within AMP that allows you to it's already loading instantly, right? It's almost a moot point, but we're preloading the preloaded, right? So it's cache within cache is how you can look at it. And cache is literally just a stored version of your website and files in a data center, which is recalled instantly versus having to load. It's data that is literally preloaded. We're also using WP Rocket. So WP Rocket is the industry standard for premium plugins for compression, right? And then we do further we do further customizations and optimizations within the plugins as well. So we're also using Max CDN, which is now StackPath. So a CDN is like Cloudflare. It allows you to essentially store, big files and images on a third-party service and then recall them, right? So it's kind of like AMP. It's like a watered-down version of AMP, but it should also be used in conjunction, which we are doing for the desktop version of websites. We also have another paid premium plugin that we optimize heavily, which is Asset Cleanup Pro. So this is things that lower the load time on the page. And as you can see, if I go back to Google PageSpeed Insights tool, you can see it's telling us why something is doing well or not. So first, contentful paint. That means that the first paint is what you see when you load a website. So the first paint is in the green. It means it loads very fast. Meaningful paint is, I guess, a more, they use heuristics to figure out what's meaningful and what isn't inside of Google. But a meaningful paint, for all intents and purposes, is just an image that, something that's visual, a big section, a viewport on the mobile device that you're loading. Speed index, this is how fast the website is loading in terms of what you're able to actually see. First CPU idle, this is when things have to throttle down because other elements on the page are loading. So if you've ever been to a slow website where you load it on mobile and like 10 things are loading while you're scrolling, bits and pieces and chunks start loading funny, that shows that this is working out really well for the client. It's in the green as well. Time interactive. Interactive literally means the time that is allowed for the user to then interact with the website, scrolling obviously being the main one on mobile. And a max potential first input delay, this is based on load times and server as well. So we could actually be doing better on that. But every month we look at this and we're following best practices to get our clients closer to 100. Now, obviously, there's so many scripts and things that are running, so it's not easy to get to 100 when the website looks beautiful and there's a lot of function to it. So we have to leverage browser caching. You have to optimize images, right? Which I just showed you with WebP, which is the new standard we're using for clients. You have to minify JavaScript. So JavaScript is awesome. It allows robust features on your mobile devices and on desktop, but it can bog down the code, and we can see we're scoring a 99 for that. Minify HTML, same premise. Minify CSS. CSS allows for beautiful artwork on the website and different interactivity as well for it to look great. Avoid bad requests. We're scoring 100 out of that, which means we're not sending traffic to any HTTP versions of the website. We're sending them directly to the final request. Same way to avoiding landing page redirects. Defer parsing of JavaScript. Enable compression. gzip compression. You can see that you scored 100% on that. So there's so many different things that can be done, and it really is a rabbit hole to go down. So we go down this rabbit hole every single month for clients. In fact, what we're doing every single month is we send out a separate IT report, right? I'm going to get into the next video or one of the videos eventually about security on a website because it is important to protect yourself and optimize your security as well. Even though it's usually an afterthought, we do it as well every month. So your website, a faster website ranks better in Google, especially since you're using an official Google tool, Google PageSpeed Insights tool to track it, right? So if this is scoring, I've seen a 0 today. Analyze. Somebody filled out the request form. I put their website in here and it literally showed a 0. The lowest I've ever seen was a 2 before that, and anything could be fixed. We took a 4 literally to a 94, right? So as long as you're doing right by people in real life, virtual reality, all this can kind of be fixed, right? Obviously, it takes a great deal amount of know-how, technology, paid plugins, and a full-time developer on the back end, which is what we have. We have a full-time development team as well, both front end for visual and the back end for code. Okay, I'm going to stop this video now. So page speed, it's super important. It's not an accident that our clients are outperforming or outranking their competition. And one of those is a huge component is speed. And that is not the only reason now. So it's not enough to just be AMP, even though if that's all you did, you would probably be ahead of everyone. But if you combine AMP with speed and then some of these other things in our checklist I'm going to go over, you'll see that ranking number 1 is a foregone conclusion at that point. Okay, see you on the next video.